Welcome back to the channel, everyone, where we love talking about movies and more. I'm your host, Mason Phillips, and this is the 4th episode of my Road to Doomsday series that started with Captain America: The First Avenger. Last episode, we talked about Agent Carter Season 2, so now let's talk about the Marvel one-shot Agent Carter. This was really the proof of concept for what an Agent Carter series could be, but I'm doing this series chronologically, so that's why we're just now tackling the Agent Carter one-shot, where it acts as a conclusion to Peggy's time within the SSR. And I think that just looking at the one-shot on its own and not looking at it as a conclusion to the Agent Carter series, it's not really fair to do that since it wasn't initially conceived to be that conclusion. But this was a good proof of concept for what a solo series or a solo mission, a solo story for Peggy could be. And I think it was done quite well. This is directed by Louis D'Esposito, one of the head executives over at Marvel Studios. And I think that they really honed in on what a story like this could be. I mean, it was so well received that it did bring about the Agent Carter series. Unfortunately, that series only lasted for 2 seasons, primarily due to low viewership, not because of quality, because that show was very good, and this one-shot was very good. It's a simple story. It does highlight the fact that Peggy had some struggles post Captain America: The First Avenger. Going into a new environment, her co-workers don't value her simply because she's a woman. The fact that she served alongside Captain America does not matter to her superiors, to her co-workers, so she has to sneak around her boss, sneak around her co-workers to complete a mission that she is fully capable of completing on her own. As a one-shot that highlighted the value of Peggy Carter and what she can really do when given the proper means to do so. I love this era of the MCU, and this is going to be the last project within this 1940s era of the MCU. It's an era I would love to revisit at some point in the near future. I don't think we will be doing that, unfortunately, but I did love this period of the MCU. Kind of golden age of Phase 1, even though this was created and produced in Phase 2, taking place in Phase 1, taking place in these early days before we get into that modern era of the MCU. I love this point in time that's highlighted in this one shot, that was highlighted in her show, and Haley Atwell is a standout. She was born to play this character, and this one shot proved that a story with Peggy Carter can work when you don't have Captain America in the picture. She's still a strong character, written so well on her own as an individual that she didn't rely on that relationship with Captain America. That relationship with Captain America makes the character stronger, but the fact that he's not here is not a detraction to her story. And then when we get into the action, it's fun, it's quick. There's a bit of camp thrown in here for the time period, for what they're dealing with here, but it's fun. It's nice to see Peggy on these kind of missions. And what I also love about these Peggy Carter missions, this one shot in her show, is they highlight the strength of Peggy Carter, but they don't take away from the feminine side of Peggy Carter. They still let Peggy be a woman. They don't try to make her overly masculine. They still highlight the fact that she is a female. So I think that a character like Peggy Carter is the kind of character that you want to show little girls, that you want to show women who are fans of these characters, and Peggy Carter is a great example of that type of character that women can aspire to be like. She's a great role model to look up to. So this one shot, it's pretty quick. It's only about 10 minutes long, but it's quickly paced, it's greatly focused, and it's nice to see Peggy finally get what she deserves at the end when she's called up by Howard Stark to head up S.H.I.E.L.D. alongside him.
I'd say that last night was more a notch in her belt than a feather in her cap.
Yes, sir. What are your orders?
Phillips and I wanted to come to Washington.
Love this one shot, had a lot of fun with it. They've kind of started doing these one shots again. They're called special presentations now, but they're essentially the same thing of what we got here with these Marvel one shots. And these one shots proved that Marvel could go outside of the movies, do stuff like the TV shows, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, like the Disney Plus shows, and get outside of that cinematic realm and be able to tell smaller stories like this. Really like this one shot. If I was to give this Marvel one shot a rating, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 or a B+ on the letter scale. It's pretty good. Not one of the best Marvel one shots, but it was definitely good enough to get that green light so that they could go ahead with the Agent Carter series. I had a lot of fun with this one shot. If you've had a chance to see the Marvel one shot Agent Carter, go down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Hope you all have an awesome and a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.